Hey Fab fam, it's Vinny B with Dead on Board Gaming. You guys miss me? Because I missed you. But either way, I'm here now and I wanted to talk about the couple announcements that kind of trickled in through the James White interviews. First, I want to talk about the one that I kind of have a little bit of a negative thought on, and then we'll get into speculation and what I think Flesh and Blood 2.0 could be, and the couple other options that they might take. So first things first, let's talk about the set release. We have a question mark set coming out in April. I think that is PvE or player versus environment, just like Kitchen Table TCG, Louis over there. I 100% agree with him. My hope is that it's more dungeon crawly than just a boss rush. I think it would be very cool if you can buy like the PVE deck, and the PVE deck had, different treasures, trinkets. I mean, I think that the Everfest and the Merchant were both kind of hints towards PVE, because all the trinkets, not a lot of them are that good, but they would definitely be good in multiplayer. There's a lot of cards that feel like they would be good in a group setting. So I'm really hoping it's kind of like a Final Fantasy thing where you guys gear up, you go in as a party of 4. There's harder and easier levels depending on how many people. There's a final boss, maybe a mid boss, and some little things to fight. Maybe even give us a treasure deck that would give us like the potions and stuff that we would get to play for free, so we don't even have to run them in the deck. I think that would be awesome. Kind of like Munchkin, you know what I mean? Like kick in the door, you see what happens. Let's go to the next thing. I think that would be awesome. Boss Rush would be fine, but I feel like all the TCGs try that, and not all of them, but like Magic tried it a while ago with Fight a God, and I think it was Theros. It was fun, but it gets old quick because it's just one boss. You know what I mean? Even if you come out with 3 bosses, like how often are you going to get together to do it, unless it's a very hard thing? But again, if you add a dungeon crawling experience to it, I think it's a super win. So I hope that's it. They seem excited about whatever it is. If it's PvE, I hope this is the line it is. Time will tell. So then in June is going to be our one full set, as they said. I can't remember which interview it was on, so I'm not going to do that. That's my fault. But he said there was going to be one full set. Now, full set is what I assume is Heroes, Classes, Talents, draftable set. The PvE won't be a draftable set, but he did say that it was very new player welcoming, which is also a huge thing. Game is definitely for the players right now, and we want to get as many as we can in. Keep working on the longevity of the game. Long-term stonks, guys. If you guys are interested in the money anymore, we're past that. We're playing the game. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is my problem: is having only one draftable set that's going to add new things to the meta. Either one, they think that there's enough in the meta that it's going to have multiple rotations in itself, which is actually healthy and awesome, but not having new things for people the last draftable set was Aria. That came out like 4 months ago. We're talking, what, 10 months, 8 months between draftable sets? It's a long time. Now I'm going to account that towards, a smaller team. I'm also going to account it towards they had to change their production ideas, which we're about to get into with the Flesh and Blood 2.0. So I just think there's a lot going on for a small team, and hopefully, like, the team will grow and they can, next year, barring any catastrophes, they can release 2 draftable sets, a supplementary set, and if they have a fun set, cool. That's 1 a quarter. Not bad. I don't want to see it go past that. That's kind of what happened with me with Magic. It's a bit too much for me, so I can't follow it anymore. The game's still fun. everything like that. I'm not going to sit here and bash on it. Sometimes I do bash on it because I got a little sour taste. But that's another video. We're not going to talk about it now because next they said they have like a Christmas Tide set, but it's not going to be the draftable set. So I'm assuming it's going to be another supplementary set, which I actually, now the more I think about this, the supplementary sets actually push Constructed a ton. So like having multiple supplementary sets, I think could be a good thing going forward as we add more and more stuff. Full rate of heroes. If you get 2 of them, you don't have to like. I could see 2 supplementary sets being, but I feel like you still have to add 2 talent class sets with drafts per year as a goal, and I'm sure that is their goal. And again, there's a million things they had to do this. So anyways, let's get into Flesh and Blood 2.0 and what I think it could be and what some other ideas that it could be. The first one is box toppers, cold foils, and chase cards. This would give them a reprint avenue without having to put them in sets. For example, Command and Conquer, maybe it doesn't fit in a reprint set. Maybe they don't have plans to do that because they do have a thing about investments. So maybe they're okay with the card being $50-$60, but it's almost 100. The problem is what's the drop rate of your cold foils and chase cards? I think it should just be cold foils, and that will be your cold foil. It will make legendaries and fables harder to pull in the cold foil aesthetic. But the rest of the box is there, rainbow foils and the other things that you'd like them to have. But the cold foil will be a 1 single drop, and you get to kind of mess with your drop rate there. Next up would be unlimited, having no foils, extended arts, cold foils, just nothing special in unlimited. It would be exactly what the narrative is that unlimited's for players and first editions for collectors and people that like fancy cards. I think logistically it might not make sense, but at the same time, you would be able to be like, here's the print run of first edition. It's 50,000 boxes, period. Nothing else is happening, kind of like it is now, but you get to lessen it to make it the collectible piece that it is, and then print unlimited as a regular print run and give the players what they want for the cheapest amount possible. It's a collector box, right? Like, we're talking about collector's boxes in Magic. Listen, Magic has thrown such a big net that it's not that it doesn't make sense, it just seems greedy. A lot of the things they're doing does make sense, like the collector box against that. Now, the regular box still has this stuff in it because it probably makes sense to do that, but again, you can come out with a cheaper version of the box, sell it for $60 or $70 and just have plain Jane versions, and then make cold foils kind of what it is, the extended arts what it is, and make the the first edition box a collector's item. So next would be a single print run, kind of like Magic treats it, where it's a time frame print run rather than we're printing 20,000 boxes. We're coming out, we're going to give our initial print run. If within a year and a half we need to press the button again, we will do that. It will be the same product, so it's still first edition. It's just the product. It's like Magic. Again, like this is the Magic idea that it's just the product. And then if you miss it, you miss it, and then you would have to wait for some type of reprint thing, which again, guys, we're 3 years in, we're on year 3. There will be reprints. It's just probably not in the plan yet. Nothing's that old. Like, I feel like the box topper idea makes more sense just because of that single thing. Like, to fully reprint some of these cards is completely unnecessary, but then you have outliers like Command and Conquer, and I think that might even be the only one, because like, in my opinion, the equipment should be expensive. It's a single piece. You know, there's the cheap version, of course, but like if you're gonna get the coal foil version, I think it should be expensive. If you're gonna get the rainbow foil version, it should be less expensive, but it should still be expensive. And if you want the plain Jane, you should be spending about $30 for it. That's how I feel. 30, 50, depending, you know, which piece, if it's majestic or legendary and stuff like that. But I think that's the sweet spot and kind of what you want. So again, going back to the box topper idea, you get to kind of angle how many legendaries are being dropped without being like, it doesn't matter about the boxes as much. Like the boxes themselves aren't a big deal, but the fact that we printed 2,000 of this legendary is a big deal. And then the last one would be treat Unlimited like we did for the first 3 sets. They didn't announce Unlimited until it was hard to find the first editions of WTR and ARC. This would allow for longer time for first edition to actually become scarce. And if you don't need it, you don't have to do it. So you wouldn't have to take up resources for unpopular sets. But this would also allow for the print run to be out there, and the people that did take into the set that wasn't that popular also get an investment because it's not overprinted or single shotted. You guys, you know, you printed X amount because that's what you thought the demand was, and if you need to print Unlimited, you'll announce it when you need to print it. And that's it. That's what I got. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me know what you guys think. Which one do you think's the best? I think Box Topper's the one that makes the most sense. That would also go into the single run like Magic, and I think that combination is probably the way it should be done. We just don't have a market that needs Unlimited the way that it is structured now, and they know that. Other than that, guys, again, please let me know. And as always, thank you for being the best community in gaming. I'm Vinny B, and I will catch you guys later.